Alright, I have no idea which path to go down. We've got a bunch of Lapino betrayal ones. Actually, no, we've only got 3, so let's see if I can get another one of those. So let's do... Can't make old friends.
Reynardo finally realized that Lapino was a traitor to the cause. And maybe Reynardo could use that somehow.
Okay, let's just go with the generic one.
Ah, Lapino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had
Hey, I can skip ahead. Perfect. Do I have VR? Nope. I do not have VR, and I have no interest in VR. It's expensive. And there's, like, zero reason for me to do anything VR related. Because I don't think you guys would really appreciate watching me play kind of, like, kitschy, bad VR games. Or, I don't know, the, like, odd couple of good ones. I'm not that kind of person. I am much more of a, I play games because I like them. And you know what? If VR actually switches over to being good, sure. You know, like maybe if the next Elder Scrolls game is actually done in VR. Maybe. Maybe. But I don't really feel like dumping $600 on a model that's probably going to be outdated in a couple of months.
Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen a winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens?
Come on. It's been a couple of days since I played this game last. And it's messing with my head just a little bit, though I'm noticing the controls are a hell of a lot better now that we've switched back to this. What?
Odd.
Oh.
Reynardo had been here, at this exact place, at this exact time. But this time, there were so many more ravens.
Interesting. Oh, hey, I can level up. Cool. Let's do that. I do have speed. Okay. So what do we want to do? HP is meaningless, especially as I'm fully healed. Grab damage, counterattack damage seems useless. We could do dash damage. Yeah, let's do dash damage.
Wish I could do that.
Being able to, like, dash through shields seems like it would be a good idea. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm totally cool with the pick up and play. It's just, like, being able to ace every fight has dropped off a little bit. I don't mind that, though. Well, I tried. Grab him, chuck him, chuck him in a stew. I don't know. I do like the fact that the dialogue has changed.
No sign of Lapino. Not a hair, not a pellet. Was he hiding in the cemetery further down the road? That didn't seem like him.
Okay. Then again, all I have to do is the sumo method. I missed the sumo method, and he exploded. Oh, he's not dead yet. There we go. There we go. So this is somewhat of there we go. There we go. That's what we're looking for.
Lapino would betray him. But now Reynardo knew that. What would Lapino do if he knew that Lapino was going to betray him? Well, he'd concoct some crazy scheme, wouldn't he? That used Lapino's betrayal against him and it would blow up in his face. Yeah. Maybe he was overthinking this. Well, that would be a first. Dirty and bloody, Reynardo finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Reynardo recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, we see this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows. And that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who happened to also be a deadly sorcerer, and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. and it would be nice to see her. He'd always had a soft spot for her, and he felt sure she had one for him. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
Okay. So, I think we've been down both of these paths. Let's go down the pay a call on Zenobia.
Zenobia wasn't just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been Reynardo's best friend in Sword Fu School. And you're still mad for her, the rabbit reminded him. The rabbit had a point, and Reynardo had a feeling she'd want to see him again. Who knows what could happen between the two of them this time around? She knows all his plans, chuckled the master spy. She won't give them up easily. She'll tell the interrogators, all right, said Lapino. Taking her would change the game, all right.
I'm trying to think. I don't know how many more runs of this I will do on stream either. Might switch over to other stuff. Not
the city was already
to
under
stop.
Zenobia's
Okay,
control.
can I skip? There we
I
go.
had to admire her efficiency. Reynardo shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Could he really turn her over to them? But this was war. It wasn't meant to be pretty.
Alright, there we go. He's done talking. And luckily, we've gone through most of the dialogue options.
This was the nice part of town. But the ravens had been through here. They like to take shiny things home to their nests.
I don't think I actually remember that bit from the previous one. I don't know. After a while, the dialogue still gets repetitive, whether or not you do anything about it. Which kind of sucks. Bye. Sort of works. 20,000. Then again, that's only like 15 fights, give or take. Maybe less. Maybe more like 13 fights? 14 fights. Ish. Before we're done. Or before we level up again.
Lapino urging him to capture Zenobia. Obviously it was a trap. But you never knew how Lapino thought. Sometimes his plans were so convoluted they did the exact opposite to what Lapino wanted. And there must be some way to play on that, Reynardo thought.
I don't like how they
One
keep...
eye's good. One eye, dead.
I don't like how they keep hinting at, you know, the true ending of the game once you've already gotten it. It's just like, nah, I don't really need to know this or do this.
So, what's this plan of yours? Use me as bait, said Lapino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lapino dressing as an old blind toad, and Reynardo hiding inside a monstrous watermelon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Reynardo.
Okay, let's go with this one again.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, said Lapino, as he ran to go set up his marvelous plan.
So let's see. Nothing else here. I guess we just go this direction. Up and up. Stay away from the explodey ones. We never like those. Okay, this is actually kind of a mess of combat. Ah! Bap! Bap! I want to just dodge bap. What the... Okay, this is just awkward. I was trying to sumo combo them to death. Didn't work. Well, here's the watermelon.
Reynardo felt dubious about the whole plan. With every step, he was waiting for it all to go horribly wrong. But against all odds, Lapino's idiotic plan worked. Zenobia's ravens ran off after the geese, the net dropped, and Reynardo jumped out of the watermelon and put his sword to Zenobia's throat. Reynardo, she said, are those new scars? They look good on you. You never return my velvet jacket. It was my favorite. You look stupid in velvet. Ah, what does an imperial princess know about style? Ah, get a room, you two, said Lapino, probably sensing the chemistry. But the fleet was coming on fast, so they took Zenobia east, over the Nexus. She'd vanished from Sword Fu School, from his life, without even saying goodbye. Without ever telling him she was the Emperor's adopted daughter, Reynardo was aware of her feelings. Maybe this was a bad idea, but was he letting his own feelings get the better of him?
So we've got two of both of these. So we're mirroring our first episode really hard here, and I kind of want to do that and then branch at the very end. So let's do that.
Listen, said Reynardo. Let's not do this. Let's not do what? Asked Zenobia. Look, you're the Emperor's right hand. You are going to have me interrogated, he said. Sure, yeah, but then I remembered how you feel about me. How I feel about you. You were going to have me interrogated, but I didn't. Because you care about me, said Reynardo. Well, guess again, Buster, she said as she pushed him off his own boat. As he plummeted towards the bottomless clouds of the abyss, Reynardo decided that he'd not really handle the situation with his usual finesse. He had tried something bold and paid the price for it.
So apparently, not only does... Okay, this is cool. So, to prevent you from replaying things...
The city was already under Zenobia's control. I had to admire her efficiency. Reynardo shivered at the thought of Zenobia at the mercy of the interrogators. Could he really turn her over to them? But this was war. It wasn't meant to be pretty.
So to prevent you from replaying a part of the story, it'll actually add you have died bits, like extra endings here and there, to speed things along so you don't just redo the story you've already done. I like that. That's a nice trick. I was wondering about that. Okay. I don't know. It's neat. It's not what I expected. But it works, because now we just had, like, a nice little humorous end. Admittedly, we have to go through that whole level a second time around, but honestly, it's so short it probably doesn't matter. But this is kind of an appreciated thing nonetheless.
Lupino urging him to capture Zenobia. Obviously, it was a trap. But you never knew how Lupino thought. Sometimes his plans were so convoluted they did the exact opposite to what Lupino wanted. Yeah, there must be some way to play on that, Reynardo thought. Didn't your mother tell you it's rude to stare? Snapped Reynardo, a little smug.
Ah, that was faster.
So, what's this plan of yours? Use me as bait, said Lupino. And he outlined a slightly complicated plan that involved geese, a net, setting the Farfarer a little bit on fire, Lupino dressing as an old blind toad, and Reynardo hiding inside a monstrous watermelon. What could possibly go wrong? Thought Reynardo.
Okay, so we'll go with this one again. We'll bring her to the interrogators.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, said Lupino, as he ran to go set up his marvelous plan.
I do like the silly death states, though. Like, it almost makes me want to replay whole levels to see all of the death states. There's nobody... Well, I was gonna say there's nobody over here. Then there was somebody over here. Works out. Okay. Let's keep plonking these guys. And that's it. Not exactly what we're looking for, but this is close enough.
Felt dubious about the whole plan. With every step, he was waiting for it all to go horribly wrong. But against all odds, she'd vanished from Swordfish.
There we go.
From his life, without even saying goodbye.
This skip is just so meaningless.
His adopted daughter, Reynardo, was aware of her feelings. Maybe this was a bad idea, but was he letting his own feelings get the better of him?
Okay, so this one never works anymore. Stick to the plan. Reynardo and Lupino had a plan. Take Zenobia to the rebel interrogators, use her secrets to wreak havoc on the Imperial fleet, but he knew she was still feelings for him. Maybe it was inappropriate to play the feelings card on account of her being a prisoner and all. Maybe it was best to stick with the original plan.
Ah, Lupino was right, Reynardo thought reluctantly. She knows things. She recognized his look. You're taking me to the interrogators, aren't you? She said, wide-eyed. And then she jumped, with horror. Reynardo saw Zenobia plummeting. Then he saw the nexus below them. Cats always land on their feet. Ah, she'll head for the Imperial outpost, yelled Lupino. You have to catch her.
Okay, maybe this is the path we took originally. I'd have to go back and look at our exact choices, because I don't remember them. There's also the other one where we could possibly try and,
Cats can run faster, but foxes can run longer. If he ran, he could head her off before she reached her minions at the outpost. Well, he did love a good chase.
let's see.
Hey,
I think this is actually the path we took.
Ravens. Like a doofus of ravens?
Okay. Alright. Well, at least I'm moving at full speed. I wonder if they fixed that bug. It's not the kind of thing I want to, like, go out of my way for, though. I hate breaking things. I'm totally down for breaking something the first time. It's just that second time that's just so annoying. Because it is just so mean. What the devil? I don't even know what's going on here, man. Things are happening. It doesn't...
Closing on her. He could smell her fear. He tried not to think about the interrogators at the secret base. What did they do to her? Maybe it didn't have to end that way. Maybe he could talk to her. But, after all, there were worse things the Imperials had done to friends of his.
Okay. I don't even remember what I was gonna say here. That skip button is atrocious, though. Trying to skip past stuff, and it just skips, like, half the dialogue, and you're like, this isn't really what I was going for here. Not the slightest. Okay. Okay. I'm noticing there's, like, I'm not gonna say input lag on the controls, but, there's this, like, kind of bad setup I've noticed along the way here.
Reynardo reached the outpost. The Imperials there were no match for him. Soon after, Zenobia limped up the path. When she realized he was already in front of her, she didn't even try to run. Oh, you left without saying goodbye. Again, he said, please. I'm enjoying this a little too much. She said, shaken. Oh, spare us the chit-chat, would you? Said Lupino as he shackled her hands so she couldn't throw spells. She knows all his plans. All the way back to the Farfarer, Lupino nagged Reynardo about how the interrogators would pry all the intel out of Zenobia. How that would turn the tides in the imminent battle. All they had to do was take her to the rebel secret base. Reynardo didn't like to think about what the interrogators would do to her. Couldn't he just talk to her?
Alright, so we've already been up the top path, so we're going down to the bottom one.
As they reached the ruins, Reynardo could see ravens everywhere, searching for the rebel base. They'd have to hide the Farfarer or go on foot. What if we get separated? Asked Lupino. For once, thinking ahead. I'll show you a map to the base. Reynardo told Lupino. Reynardo, don't do this, said Zenobia. We were friends once. We... Shut it, witch, or I'll shackle your mouth too, said Lupino. See? Reynardo thought. There was no way Lupino was working for the Empire. He really hated Zenobia. And then, a few moments later, they touched down.
Okay, so this is all new story stuff. Makes me feel kind of like a jerk, though, unfortunately. But, well... I think this is also the last branch, but yeah, I'll draw you a map to the base. Ugh. Of course this is going to backfire.
As Lupino pulled Zenobia off the Farfarer, Reynardo readied himself for the battle ahead. I'm sorry I nicked your jacket, she said. It's just... Oh God. It's stupid, but... It smelled like you. What? He said, confused. Then... Why didn't you ride? Why didn't you far speak? Oh, save the romantic nostalgia. Let's go! shrieked Lapino. So Reynardo launched himself down the path to the secret base.
I still think I wish that the story was a little bit more emergent in this game. Yep. Yep. Too many explosions. Don't want anything to do with them.
He thought about
okay.
Hypatia. Oh, she'd been an amazing rabbit. She could talk to him about comics, and talk to her son about history and battles, and talk to scholars about the ancient tomes hidden deep in the vaults of the library of Ubar. Oh, Reynardo really missed her.
I think that's actually the saddest thing about all of this, that, like... that, you know, Hypatia just, you know, dies early on, and, like, Zenobia, who's not actually blameless in any of this. You know, of course...
Reynardo had misgivings. It had been Lapino's idea to capture Zenobia. Lapino who'd guessed she'd run to the outpost. There was something wrong with the way none of Lapino's plans had gone wrong yet. It wasn't like him.
Let's see.
They caught their breath. It's beautiful, she said, looking at the ruins. This used to be the library of Ubar, he said. Before your father's ravens smashed it. Do we have to talk politics? She asked. That's not how I want to remember you, she said with an odd, wistful look at her face. She was as beautiful as she'd ever been, and as brave. Lapino huffed. They got back on the trail.
Don't know where that lift goes. I also don't care.
Well, the eyes have had it.
Actually kind of impressed I didn't get hit there. That was lucky. I guess once I'm in mid-jump, it doesn't matter. Alright. This is terrible. I have no idea how I didn't get shot like 3-4 times in there.
Long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Okay. There we go. Grab this. Chuck. Destroy. Okay, do we get the... Nope, we don't get the combo meter yet. There we go. And doesn't matter because that's the end of it. Such a, like, inconsistent commentary style with this game, though. There's so much, like, narration and dialogue, and it goes so fast that it's just like, I don't even say things half the time now.
As they made their way to the secret rebel base, Reynardo felt strange. Zenobia was his prisoner, yet somehow she felt more like an old friend. He wanted to tell her all his secrets, but suddenly the ruins lit up with thousands of fireworks. There was a thunderous roar and dust rose. The caves were collapsing. The caves? You've been playing me? Reynardo said, and he stared at Zenobia. I'm sorry, she said, and she seemed almost embarrassed. Then everything went dark. When Reynardo came to, he had a terrible headache. Also, Zenobia's sword was at his throat, and her shackles were gone. So was Lapino. The terrible thing is, he said, I really have missed you. Now that we've destroyed the rebellion, would you consider becoming an advisor to the Emperor's daughter? I'm no one's servant. Everybody serves. Even if it's only destiny. I like to choose my own destinies, he said. The whole point of a destiny is you can't choose. Oh, never mind, she said. Look, if I see you again, I'll have to kill you. He watched her ship soar away. He would see her again, he decided. Even if he had to fight his way across the entire fleet.
It's kind of interesting all the character development shows up across all of the story paths. It's interesting and it's kind of poignant it really does kind of make me wish that there was, like, more depth, maybe, to, like, each story and less.
The Imperial fleet was cleaning up the few rebel remnants. For only a moment, he thought about running. But heroes don't run, even when the world is against them. Even when their cause is hopeless, and their efforts futile, and pointless, and useless, and death painful and guaranteed. He's decided to stop thinking for a while.
They haven't fixed this one. Yeah, I wish there was more content in this game. See, there's a lot of content.
Or I could go that way, he thought.
It's just painfully overdone. Like, I like the content that is in this game, and the writing is great. The problem is it's the same levels over and over and over again. And that's where this kind of becomes a problem. Because I've played this last level 10 times. There's 2 paths through it. And to be totally honest, that's not enough variation to actually make it worthwhile.
Reynardo's arm was sore, his armor wet with raven blood. He was tired of death. But death was not yet tired of him. The rebels were losing. Badly. In some other universe, Reynardo thought, he and Zenobia had left sword-foo school together, taken other names and sailed off into the mists. Not this Zenobia, and not him. For him, there was nothing to do but forge ahead. Kill the Emperor and end this.
Okay. I don't know. Like, I would love to play a longer story-based RPG like this. And maybe what happens is...
No spitting.
Maybe it's, like, longer, full length, and every time you hit, like, a branch, it rolls you back to the previous, like, switch point. And so, like, it has a lot more content. You kind of repeat through things, but instead of having you repeat through the same thing over and over and over again, which ends up being kind of painful, it would be much, much nicer this way, because, I mean, I like the writing and the story and the lore enough, but I think it'd almost make more sense if it was, like, Bastion length content and just, you know, looped you back occasionally. I don't know. It's hard to necessarily say, because obviously, like, I'm no expert in game design. I don't know.
At last, he reached the Emperor's ship. Zenobia was there. Why'd you have to come back? She said, guess I'm just serving my destiny. He shrugged. You don't even know what that word means. She said, do you ever wonder if things have been different all the time? She said, and drew her sword. In the end, Reynardo lay bleeding out on the deck. Zenobia sat by his side, upset. What are you so upset about? He asked. You wouldn't understand. Why didn't you tell me you were going to leave school? I was afraid you'd convince me not to. I guess I'll have to buy you a drink in the halls of the Valiant then, he told her. And then he was gone.
That was not a Lupino as a traitor one. That was actually a Zenobia one. I guess it kind of makes sense. Walking the cat. What kind of hero are you? A hero who doesn't run, even when the whole world is against him. 20 ore, which is useless. Alright, whatever. I guess I'll see you guys in the next story. I think I might actually do a lot of these off camera, and, you know, just record the point where it actually starts becoming relevant. Because at this point, I don't feel like having separate episodes for every single one of these stories. That's going to take a while, and honestly, I don't feel like commentating over the same beginning over and over and over again. So I think that's it. So, I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.